Welcome to the Chico Creates podcast, where we have conversations with local artists, musicians, and makers here in Chico, California. I'm your host, Kira Barsodi, and this show is presented by and recorded at Maker Radio, which you can hear on 94.5 FM. We're very excited to be partnering with them and recording from this space. Those of you on YouTube can see us. And then you can also tune in to the show on KZFR 90.1 FM every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So stoked about our new local radio partnerships and hoping to reach more people on the air. Last but not least, I've got to mention that we have merch available now, which is super exciting in my opinion. We've got hats, stickers, mugs, totes, shirts for the whole family. So all kinds of fun stuff there. And without further ado, with me today is Jacob Davenport. Jacob is a freelance illustrator who enjoys working on a variety of projects. His recent work has been highlighting local businesses through product design and illustrating children's books. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Great to have you.
Yeah, it's super cool to be here.
Yeah. Made it work. So tell us a little about yourself beyond the bio.
I'm 30 years old. I'm married and we have 2 kids. I'm a stay-at-home dad. So
Awesome.
stay-at-home dads, if there
Woo!
are any out there. Yeah, I like to run and do all the things when I can. We're really big on coffee right now. Like we need our
Yes.
caffeine.
Yes.
So that's like actually my number one hobby is drinking coffee. Yeah. So yeah, that's like the gist of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
How old are your boys?
So our first is 2, and
wow.
we just had our second.
Oh, wow.
He's just over a month old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You
So-
were in the thick of it.
Yeah. If I start slurring my speech, you could just blame them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that explains the caffeine
Yeah.
need 100%. So how long have you lived in Chico?
My whole life. Born and raised here.
Awesome.
There's like a small stint when I went into the Marine Corps that I was gone like 4.5 years.
Okay.
And then I came back and yeah, been here ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I assume family is keeping you here?
Oh
or...
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was part of a church community and like leaving
Uh-huh.
that like left a big hole in me, and then like coming back, I found that community again, my family, and yeah, that's really what's been keeping me here is just being close to everyone that I love, and
Yeah.
like Chico itself is its own little gem. So,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what's your favorite local spot or place to hang out?
So our favorite spot right now, for the caffeine reasons, is Equilateral Coffee.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Rylan and Elaine, they got it down.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Yep.
Eileen, sorry, not Elaine. Eileen.
Oh, yeah. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's because my mother-in-law is named Elaine. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Eileen.
Yeah, I don't know her mother-in-law, but I'm sorry.
You don't have the same excuse.
Yeah. So we love to get coffee from them. We're right
Yes.
down the street, like in
Oh,
the
awesome.
Elm area.
Great.
But like favorite spot to like hang out. We're really into parks right now with the boys and
Yep.
stuff. So we go to Wildwood Park a lot just
good
because it
one.
has that like track and we could go on a
Yes.
walk, then like stop to play.
Yes.
Yeah, and if I'm on my own and I like to like go out on my own sometimes and work, when I get a chance. But for like those spots, I'd say there's 2. There's Day Camp and Stobel.
Yep.
Just because they have such a great atmosphere in there.
Yes.
So yeah, I
Lots
really
of
like
places
those.
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
new one, I'm just shouting out everyone. Is
Yeah.
that fine?
That's totally fine.
Yeah, new one is Chico Chai. Just started
Yes.
going there, and it's like, oh my gosh, like this is beautiful inside.
It's gorgeous in there.
Yeah.
And my 2-year-old loves it because
Yeah.
of the little play area.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the perfect place to go meet other people because
Mhm.
the kid is entertained. You can actually have a conversation. The chai is delicious.
Yeah.
It's a great spot.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Agree about all of the above. So tell me a little bit about your background in art.
So grew up drawing, and it was like that one thing that I received a lot of affirmation in. I'm pretty sure I had ADHD or something because I was just like failing my way through high school and like even like middle school and elementary. They were like, he has problems. Um, but I drew a lot and I really loved it. And then it just sort of stuck with me. Even through the Marine Corps, they like caught me and they were like, hey, you're the art recruit in boot camp. Draw all these like promotional things for us. And then later on, I was like designing t-shirts and things like that for people and tattoos. And, after that, I was like, I guess I should do something with art,
Yeah.
So I went to school, first Butte, then I transferred to CSU here in Chico, and I got an art degree in painting and drawing and an accounting degree for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that was a thing.
I mean, useful, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And now I've just been drawing ever since, just trying to make my way with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. And so what led you to your current medium or style? Like you do a lot of really fun illustration, like it's pretty whimsical. I especially love your stickers of locations.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, those are super fun.
Yeah, all the like current stuff, I would say like the current stuff is like the digital stuff. Was children,
yes,
so
just force of like necessity.
Time, like
Yeah.
time has been like the biggest like factor in shaping like how I like approach art now.
Yeah.
Just because it like gets cut like in half.
Yes.
As soon as like you have a child. But I was just drawing a lot in those early hours of baby, and just really got into it because I finally graduated a month before we had Arlo. And
oh wow.
So I was like, all right, now's my chance to make something with art. But I had no footing whatsoever, like in any like products or any businesses or anything. Like, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna start my illustration career right now. And then like we're gonna have a baby a month later, and it's totally gonna work out.
Yep.
And it didn't really work out at first. I was just sort of drawing what I could in the time that I had, and that led me into digital art because of the tools available.
Yep.
Overwhelming, but if you sort of narrow it down to like a few things, it really helped shape how I think of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say like having our kid, our firstborn, really like was like a kick in the butt for me, and I just started drawing like crazy.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've just been like diving into colors and like perspectives and things like that. And I don't know, it's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, super fun. So I lived in Santa Cruz for a couple of years, and they also had stickers of like the various neighborhoods in town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious what inspired your stickers, because that was actually how I first came across you, was the stickers that you had at the Chico Art Center.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, these are awesome. What inspired those?
I just I don't know. I think the first one was Monkey Face. My one of my friends was playing like a lot of Minecraft, and like that's what like sort of inspired like the isometric like top down square style.
Right.
But I was just like, oh, I'm doing all these like random illustrations, like I need to start narrowing it down to like, things that I enjoy, places like I want to be, things I want to be doing. And so I started illustrating stuff around that. And like out of that, I was like, oh, like I feel like Monkey Face is a cool spot. And I've seen like other variations of it, but I wonder what it would be like if I drew it.
Yeah.
And so I made that. And then I was like, oh, this looks really graphic, like with the typography, like maybe it'd be a good sticker. And from there, I was like, oh, I can make, like when you
all
start
the places.
something.
Yes. Yeah.
When you start something, you're like, oh, I could do all these things with it. And like, that happens with everything, unfortunately.
Yes.
Like you like walk into Michael's and your like mind just like explodes. You're like, oh, there's a Cricut. Oh, yarn. I could do embroidery. Like you're like, no, you don't have time for that. Stop it. Yeah.
I have a whole list of things I want to learn how to do that I just have to let go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I still want to get into it, but like animation was like,
Uh-huh.
I love animating things and I wish I could do it more in my work, but
Mm-hmm.
that just takes so much time, you
Yeah.
know? It's like I could animate this one thing or I can make like 4 other pieces
Yeah.
and like them be good.
Yep.
But yeah, not enough time.
Yep. Not enough time in the day.
That's going to be a recurring theme in me.
Yes.
It might come up just because it's just really hitting hard right now.
Yes.
So I'm sorry to everyone who has to hear
it. No, it is like it's good for fellow parents to hear it, and it's good for non-parents to hear it, to take advantage of the time that you have.
Oh yeah. The thing is, like, people gave us advice before we had kids and we were just like,
yeah, sure.
yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You're full of it. You know, you're not good at time management. That's what it is.
That's the whole problem.
I took a course in project management.
Right.
I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's like it'll just fall on deaf ears.
Yes. Oh, totally.
Rightly so, because you have no idea until it happens.
Yeah. Well, and that's probably a good thing because it might scare everyone out of having kids.
Oh yeah, we don't want to scare people, it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it is the best thing ever, but it's also the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and it's like that thing where you pass by somebody you sort of know and they're like, oh, how's it going? And you're like, oh, it's good. It's like it's really easy to get into that mindset.
Yes.
And like you want to be real with it. You want to be like, hey, it's really hard. I'm struggling in these areas. But you also don't want to be like, oh, kids, like, right. What a downer. It's like, no, they're wonderful. Like, we love our children. They're beautiful. They're smart. You know, they're active. They're cool.
They are the most magical things. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
But they're also really difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it happens.
They change. I mean, it's not just that they change your life in like, oh, they take all my time. They you become obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Like they're awesome. So yeah, it's this weird human thing that we all keep doing.
Yeah. It just keeps happening for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
Yeah. Who'd have think?
So, do you have any studio rituals or routines, or you just?
I think you know the answer to that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm an opportunist when it comes to my studio practices. That means I could be like sitting in my car drawing if like I have a second, or like I was here drawing just before this. Coffee again.
Yep. Necessary.
Yeah, thank you, Equilateral.
Yeah.
No studio practices, no rituals, no routines, just chaos. Yeah, which is like cool, but also like it makes you like, I wonder what it would be like.
Yeah. Imagine how much I could get done.
Oh yeah, and yeah. I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah. No, those days are coming. I mean, I don't know what it's like to have a second, but like you're like a 1-month-old deep in the throes. Yeah. It'll happen.
Oh yeah, it'll happen. Yeah, and it's like we have the opportunity to enjoy our like 2 beautiful boys.
Yes,
and, like we need to cherish that.
Yeah.
So
that the interview I had just before yours, we talked a little bit about how like I'm losing my words. It's probably the fact that I have a 2-year-old. They are small for so brief a time, and I have a tendency to feel like if I'm not producing all the time, that I'm not contributing, that I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And the reality is like there's a season for everything, and it's so important to be able to be present in this season. Obviously money is an issue, but like to be able to spend the time is a blessing. Yeah. And I'm sure your kids have affected your work. Like,
oh yeah,
not just in the lack of time to make it, but
but also
in your
like
subject matter,
messing it up. No, I'm
also that.
No, yeah, they've actually like just like having kids and like reading like so many kids books has like sort
Yes.
of led me into like, oh, I want to make my own like children's book,
Yeah.
like so that I could like read that with them and
Mm-hmm.
like enjoy that. And oh, I like children's illustration, like this is really
Mm-hmm.
fun, like I want to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like shaped that
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And like in college, you're painting and drawing like all the angstiest
Yes.
ideas.
Yeah.
Like the professor is like, oh, make a painting, and then you're like, I need to like reveal my deepest self in
Right.
this painting.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, drafts are cute.
Yeah.
I like
Uh-huh.
drafts. I want to draw a few drafts.
Uh-huh.
um and I feel like that's like partly kids, but also like escaping like like the culture of like I need to like do something like brand new and revolutionary. And
Yes.
you know
Yeah. There's nothing new under the sun. It's
yeah,
it's nice to be
no,
free of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it feels good to not care, like in a
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Right.
Yeah, I still care, but like
Yeah.
just not like to that degree, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Having some perspective and yeah,
Yeah.
like being able to just do what you want to do. And again, like you have limited time, so what are you going to do with it? Like
Yeah.
make things you actually enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I've noticed you've done like a lunar market poster
Yeah,
and things
it
like
was a
that.
sticker
Yeah.
design, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I just finished doing like an isometric like characterization of a lovebird.
Oh,
And
yes, yeah.
yeah, what was fun about that is I, like it was supposed to be on like Chico State campus, but
Right.
I was like usually like they're in the courtyard, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what if we like get people that are involved with lovebird? And so
Uh-huh.
I got to do all these like little figures that
Oh,
were people that are
cool.
like involved.
Yeah.
So that was really fun to work on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's yeah. I something I really like about your work is how locally focused it is. Like your kids book that you're working on. I've seen little illustrations and things from on your Instagram and it like I'm like that is Upper Bidwell.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing takes place in Upper Bidwell,
Yeah.
and I feel like I just want them to be able to like read the book and then like go to the place.
Yeah.
And I haven't really seen that much in like children's books, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that'd be really cool to just do something light and fun
Yeah.
where kids could be like, oh, let's go there,
Right,
and like
right.
get parents and kids outside. I don't
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So what is the best part about being an artist in Chico?
Um, there's just so many opportunities. If you walk into like any like coffee shop or like any gallery, I feel like it's pretty accessible to the public, like especially like as an artist, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm creating a body of work, I want to show it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many opportunities out there, like to
Yes.
just like get it out there. And then like I'm sure like you've heard countless times, the community, they're all about like people getting into the arts and like
Mm-hmm.
sharing their art. And so
Mm-hmm.
like those two combined, I just feel like Chico is such a special place for that. Like it's not like as large as like Sacramento or
Mm-hmm.
Roseville, but it's like bigger than other places. I don't
Yes.
know. It's
Yeah,
like in
yeah,
that like
yeah.
Goldilocks zone, I guess, of
Totally.
like small town art community, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do want to talk more about your children's book. Are you hoping to like where are you at in the process with that?
I'm neglecting it. It's
Uh-huh.
sitting in the corner crying
Uh-huh.
because I've been really busy with client work, which
That's
is
I mean
like,
that's a good problem to
hey,
have.
we made
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
2 years later, like this is the
yes.
problem I have. Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
But right now I'd say like the writing and editing is complete.
Awesome.
But illustration wise, I have like 4 more spreads to do.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm just waiting until it like calms down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a publisher or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been like sort of looking for that, but for the most part, I was just thinking about self-publishing and
Sure. Mm-hmm.
printing on my own dime and just selling it.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at with that, just
Awesome.
because it's a big project.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
trying to not do it quickly, because that can be like sometimes the feeling that you need to get, like you were saying, like I need to be productive, I need to produce,
Mm-hmm.
and like trying to just like put a damper on that feeling, just so that like when you do produce, it's intentional and you
Right.
could do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you bring urgency to your craft, unless that's part of your intention,
Yeah.
it really has a tendency to mess things up.
Yeah. Oh, urgency and money. When you're like,
Uh-huh.
hey,
Yeah.
like this is gonna be a part of my income source, it just all flies out the window. Like
Yeah.
you're hoping it comes back to you, but
Yeah.
like it really changes things.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What like what did you want to be when you grew up?
Um,
I mean, you
someone that draws.
yeah. That's what you're doing. That's
Yeah, that's
great.
what I was
Well, it's
doing.
like so what was the accounting degree about then?
Oh man, I know. Yeah, it's silly. Like Tara, she teases me about it.
Uh-huh.
But I so I started off like in a computer animation
Okay.
program because I was
Mhm.
like, I want to do 2D animation
Mhm.
and like I want to work on like movies and stuff like that that are like
Mhm.
animated and beautiful.
Mhm.
And then I went into the program and I was like, you know what? This program like isn't it for me. Like it's just not like where I think it's gonna go because it was leaning heavily into like motion capture and like 3D animation.
Ah,
And I'm like,
interesting. Yeah, that's
yeah, so I want to do
yeah.
something more artsy. And
Mhm.
so um, I made a few paintings at Butte College, like under Simone's class,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, maybe I could like find the painting instructor here, and see what's going on. This is a really long-winded version of why,
It's
but
totally fine.
yeah, and so I found Jay. They were doing like a BFA exhibition, and I was like, "Hey, look, I paint like," and I saw people working on murals. Can I get into that? Like, I just
Mhm.
want to like paint something, and so I started helping with murals before I was
Oh,
in the
cool.
program, and then I hopped into the fine art program, and I still had like other classes to take while I was in the art program,
Yeah.
and I took a business class, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, maybe I should get like a minor in this, like just in case, so I know what to do
Right.
with
No,
taxes and
that's
money.
smart. Yeah.
And then I took my first accounting class, and I was like, oh, everyone says this is hard. I should be doing this, like because
Uh-huh.
if it's hard, then like
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
could do it, then I should do it,
Right, right.
And so I just signed up for an accounting degree,
Mhm.
and the the counselor was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is gonna add like
More
a year and a half
yeah.
to your
Yeah.
program. And I was like, not if I take summer and winter classes, it won't,
Uh-huh.
like. So anyways, it was just like all sporadic, all scatterbrained planning, but I came out with 2 degrees,
Yeah.
and I'm not really using either of them
Uh-huh.
for like any like professional sense,
Uh-huh.
which is great, I guess.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean that's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, that totally like that's what piqued my curiosity about it. I was like, there is no business component to an art degree. But if you
No, it's
want to
sad.
be an artist, like
Yeah.
professionally, you need to have a business mind also.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think Josh Funk, I talked to him at 1078 during the 8-bit
Yeah.
show,
Mhm.
and he said that he's trying to like build up like the illustration program right
Mhm.
now, and I feel like that's like something that's sort of missing right now,
Yeah.
like at CSU, is like they had like a art practices, like a studio practices class where it's
Mhm.
like, hey, how do you submit to these big galleries, like how do you find shows and everything like that.
Right.
But it didn't really hit on like building clients or
Right.
things like that. And um, when I even, well, like of course like accounting didn't hit on that. They
Yeah,
were like,
yeah,
this is how
yeah.
you make a journal entry and this is why you
Right.
do that.
Right.
But
So you know how to balance your books, but
yeah, but you need money in
to
order to balance the
have to
books.
balance, yeah.
I'm just like in Excel, like, oh, I can make this formula go into this if
Uh-huh.
I had money.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna pretend I'm gonna put a number there.
Right.
But yeah, like I think education and business, like a lot of that comes from like online now, and I really wish there was like a more practical like application class like
Yeah.
that I saw like at CSU, but it sounds like they're working on it. I'm
That's
not
good.
sure. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's we're all trying to figure it out.
Everyone's trying to figure out. I feel like that's what makes it hard to package something into like a degree or education, especially like
Yeah.
art wise,
Mm-hmm.
because like your marketing isn't like, oh, okay, like you go through these channels and these steps to like get it done. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, like you are like you meet someone randomly and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
I need a t-shirt design done.
Yeah.
Or like you just like make these like random connections through networking.
Mm-hmm.
And then like your art, your style, your subject matter completely different
Right.
than the next person. And so how do you say like, okay, this is a standardized way to go about this? And
Right.
there is none. So
Yeah.
yeah, education is hard.
It is. Yeah. And so much art is so personal too, and that adds a whole nother layer of
Oh yeah.
difficulty marketing it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it was I had a hard time accepting feedback, and that was like
Mm-hmm.
especially like in college when you're doing critiques with like a fine arts degree, like because like I said, you're in like that angsty period where it's
Yes.
like these are my emotions on a
Right.
canvas.
Right.
So if you critique this,
You're
you're wrong.
critiquing me
Yeah.
and you're wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I didn't really learn how to take critiques well from that because that's sort of like the encouraged thing is like to
Right.
be like emotional and like which like it's great to be able to like process things like through the medium of art, but
Mm-hmm.
in a practical sense of like gearing yourself like for success after your degree
Mm-hmm.
didn't help me too much. I got to learn
Right.
how to explain myself really well like in
Yeah.
my intentions for art, but
Mm-hmm.
actually taking like feedback and criticism on like what I'm doing, not so much, I'd say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and it's an interesting thing because like obviously you want like I think most artists' primary purpose is to express themselves, but if you want to sell it, you need to also make it accessible in some way,
Yeah.
and like I think that's what the crits are going for is like, are you expressing this in a way that other people get it,
Oh yeah.
or like it's like two different questions,
Hmm.
it's like, did it work for you or does it work for the general public? you
Yeah.
know it's
None
so
of my
it's
art worked
so
for the general
right.
public. None of it did.
It's a tough Venn diagram
Yeah.
to get right.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to even like think back to like what was going on in my head like at the
Yeah.
time, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Well, do you have any projects you're working on that you're really excited about, or any dream projects you would love to work on?
Uh well, the kids book is one. Like
Yes.
that's like a
Mm-hmm.
big thing for me to finish, and I'm really
Mm-hmm.
excited to finish it,
Mm-hmm.
but also like I'm excited to move on to like future projects.
Yes. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because as soon as like you start one thing, you're just like, let's move on to the next.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'd say like future projects, like what would be cool is I don't know, continuing to work with small businesses
Mm-hmm.
to like highlight what they have special.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do more botanicals. Like
Oh, yeah.
I love drawing like pretty flowers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I could figure out a way to like make that a thing, then
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, where can people find you online?
I have a website, ableillustrations.com, or Instagram is like my main like posting platform,
Mm-hmm.
Able Drawing. Couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get the domain name for Able
Darn.
Drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Confuses people. They're
Yeah.
like illustration,
Yeah.
drawing,
Yeah.
like yeah.
Where does Abel come from?
Oh, it's a middle name.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
I have two middle names.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a common practice, but
It
Jacob
happens.
Abel Joaquin Davenport.
Okay.
And I was like, Abel, that's like easy to remember and it's
Yeah.
like separate from my name. Like I'll just go with that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's where it comes from. Just
Awesome.
expediency, I
Yep.
guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Is anything else that you want to share with the audience?
Uh Well, if anyone wants to reach out, I'd love to connect with other creators,
Yeah.
like and illustrators, like
Mm-hmm.
in a similar position, because like there's like community events happening out there, but like one-on-one
Yes.
connections is so cool. So
Yes.
hey, if you're out there, like message me. I want to
Yes.
like hear from you. because it'd just be cool to like get a coffee sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and stay-at-home parenting while trying to work
Oh.
is like, you need a support group for that.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
And especially dads. Like, there's the Chico Mothers Club, but there's not a lot of support for stay-at-home dads.
I get sad.
Yeah.
Like, my wife, she gets like a bunch of texts, and she's like, "Oh, they're meeting at the park," and it's like it's this person. And I was like, I feel like I'd be like
crashing
standing
the party,
out, crashing the party if I went there. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to talk to like other parents about like trying to build our career and like figuring out kids too.
Yeah, for sure. Stay-at-home dads unite.
Yeah, it's an SOS. That's my thing I want to share. Yeah,
perfect. Love that. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, awesome. And we will see you around town. Yay, all done.
All right.
Bye. The Chico Creates podcast is presented by and recorded at Maker Radio in Chico, California. Hosted and produced by Kira Barsodi. Production engineering and editing by Solomon Perillo. Theme song is Take Your Time by Lorna Such. We now have official merchandise: hats, totes, mugs, shirts for the whole family, and more at ChicoCreates.com. Sport your support of the show with official Chico Creates podcast merch. This show is made possible by community members like you. I would personally like to thank Melissa Thede, David LaShawn Montoya, Jonathan Greenfield, Heather Leveroni, Kaylee Huber, Troy German, Kate Thurkill, Bonnie Pipkin, Lindsay Hook, Bree Epley, Scott Grisette, and Johan Caro for their continued financial support of this project. If you'd like to join them, head over to ChicoCreates.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to become a show supporter. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you around town.